Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Pond Myths Exposed, Episode 2. Today's myth that we're going to be exposing is, do I have to bring my fish inside for the winter? It's a question that we get a lot this time of the year, just like last week's episode. It's that winter time, so a lot of people are asking this question. The answer is simply no. They do not have to come inside for the winter. Actually, a lot of the time you can stress them out more by bringing them back and forth in the fall and then again in the spring. Sometimes that can be even more stressful on them if you're not taking, all the precautions. So typically we recommend leaving them in the pond, but they need to have three things, and those three things at least 2 feet of depth. So again, with a 2-foot deep pond, you're going to have about 8 inches of solid ice, and that's really not that much. So at least 2 feet. They've got plenty of room for swimming, plenty of room to hibernate down at the bottom of the pond for the winter. The second thing that we're going to recommend is one of these bad boys. Hopefully you can see that. That is a pond de-icer. I don't know if you're reading it backwards like I am, but that's a 300-watt pond de-icer. And what this does, this is going to keep a hole in the ice. So it's not designed to keep the pond water warm. All it's going to do is heat up the ice around it so it keeps a hole in it. It's going to allow the exchange of those harmful gases that build up from rotting debris in the winter months. All that stuff gets trapped in the pond if there's no hole in the ice. So if you get a hole in the ice, those gases can escape, and your fish are going to breathe nice clean air, essentially. So the next thing we're going to need, your pond aerator. So in the winter time, you're shutting down your system. You got your nice beautiful waterfall running all year. That's helping filter the water, keeping the water nice and clear. In the winter time, when you shut that down, you need to supplement the oxygen flow getting into the pond. Right? So the whole ecosystem needs oxygen, essentially. So having an aerator in the pond during the winter time is going to help keep your fish nice and happy and healthy over the winter, and it's also going to help reduce your maintenance in the spring because you're keeping the bacteria oxygenized. All the plant life that's in there, although it's dormant, it's still taking in oxygen. And like I said, the whole ecosystem requires oxygen. So a lot of people will cut corners and not go with the aerator. Guys, do yourselves a favor. Pond aerator. Do it. It's worth the extra buck. So again, we got 3 things mainly. If you want to keep your fish in the pond over the winter, it's absolutely doable. Just make sure your pond's at least 2 feet. Keep a hole in the ice with some kind of pond de-icer. It doesn't have to be aquascape. You can get different types. We use aquascape. They're reliable, they're good quality, and we're aquascape contractors, so we live and breathe it. That next thing again is the aerator. Don't skimp out on the oxygen, guys. If you care about your fish, make sure they can breathe, all right? Give them an oxygen source because, if you wake up, or if they wake up in the spring anyways and they can't breathe, you're going to not be too happy in the springtime when you do your spring cleanup. So, get that oxygen, get the hole in the ice, and you guys will be good to go. You'll have happy fish all year long. So, I hope this has been helpful. This has been episode 2. Do you have to bring your pond fish in for the winter? The answer to the question is no. Thanks, guys.